Hello, YouTube. This is Ewan Spence and ESC Insight calling. Luke Black, are you listening? It's time for your review. Yes, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Hello, everybody on YouTube. This is our attempt to take the podcast, cut it up, and put it into a different kind of form. We still do what we always love to do at this time of year, which is review our songs and give them a hit, a miss, or a maybe on Jukebox Jury. Full episodes at our podcast, www.escinsight.com. But here, lifted up just for you. If all you want to listen to is Serbia and what we think of Samo Mi Se Spava, you're in the right place. Myself, Ewan Spence, Matt Baker, DuPonts, reviewing Luke Black's song that's heading to Liverpool. Something, lobster, something. Matt.
Well, look, Samo Mi Se Spava. I'm not saying that young Luca is destined for the stage, but nothing screams earnest superstar like a teenager anglicising their first name and changing their surname to Black because you mourn the death of the Serbian music scene. I just love that. I read that about him and I'm already intrigued to meet him and his lobster. I am slightly baffled by this song, I have to say. What do I get from this? The song has some pretty dark themes, have to say, around the world being on fire and escaping through a permanent sleep. I don't know, something to be said there. But what I get from this, thankfully, is the escapism that comes with gaming and disconnecting from the world around you by connecting, if that makes any sense. There's, in the song, you heard it, there's game over references and also Halo, which is a big video game franchise. So you could, say that he's sort of like, I'm going to go with the more positive vibe of this song. For me, it's escapism in a general sense. My question about this is, what are we going to get at Eurovision? Because the national final performance visuals were, opened with Luke emerging from a flower cocoon type thing, then unplugging his sort of Batman baddie dancers, and all under the watchful eye of a robot overlord of the backdrop of his screen. It's a bit all over the place, so I don't know what we're going to get.
I think the bigger stage could actually be of benefit here. We have talked before, over many years, about the staging at Eurovision, how sometimes artists can get lost in the stage and how the camera work needs to work to decide where. We mentioned it with Swell actually earlier in this episode. I think that isolation that you can get on such a big stage could actually play into the strengths here. There's some really good artistic options here. You've got a great big massive robot in the background, so the question of always is it a Michael Bay big smashy robot, or is it a Guillermo del Toro big smashy robot? Because many interpretations are available. I'm not... See, this is about the Netherlands is just like, we don't know what's going to happen. It's going to work. Serbia, we're not quite sure. But then we look back at Constructa last year and we're like, you're going to wash your hands? How's that going to... that's worked. That's worked very well. So I find it curious that we haven't yet given Serbia the benefit of the doubt that we've given the Netherlands.
So first of all, for me, this is clearly a Guillermo del Toro robot. Yay! Because this is Luke Black is in the universe of Pacific Rim, where all the mechs are fighting, and he's one of the people in the city. He's just kind of waiting to be destroyed. And what do you do when you can't really do anything about that? You sit down and you sleep. You try to escape. You game. There are various things. So yes, it's definitely a Pacific Rim style robot here. For me,
reset the clock!
The apocalypse is not canceled, according to Luke Black. But for me, this song is a very online song. So people who are terminally online are going to get it and they're going to love it. It feels like the entire song is a meme and is designed to be memed. the lobster, which doesn't actually show up that much in the song, although he's used it in all his press materials. The video game backgrounds, the emerging from the shell, all of these are things which are going to show up as gifts later on. I think it's absolutely fantastic, and I think it also reflects the "this is fine" meme that we have. Instead of sitting there drinking coffee while the world is burning, Luke Black is trying to sleep while the world is burning. This will resonate with a lot of people who are kind of dealing with 5 or 6 or 7 years of absolute chaos going on in the world and the sense of things getting out of control. So it is a huge hit for me. I don't know what to expect when I see Luke Black, and I really love that. It's an authentic voice at Eurovision.
Yeah, my question mark remains over this. If they rinse and repeat from the national final, we could get a similar outcome to San Marino last year with Achille Lauro, who it was just everything and the kitchen sink and then another kitchen sink. And I worry about that. When I'm confused, I'm baffled. When I am confused, I go back to basics. And do I skip this song on my playlist when it comes on? No, I don't. So it's got an interest there. So for that reason, I think it's a maybe. It borderline here, but it's a maybe for me.
I think it's a maybe for me as well. But it is going to lead to one of my fun games when I get to Liverpool. Okay? Now, for those of you who listen to the podcast, don't spoil this for anybody else, okay? We have to get as many people as possible convinced that Luke Black's dad is Paul Oscar from Iceland. Because this is Minhinsty Dance take 2. So the more people, just say to us, oh yeah, it's Paul Oscar's son. And just leave it at that, just walk away.
It's interesting that you bring up Iceland, because for me, this is actually cuddly Hatari. This is kind of the cute version of what Hatari is singing about. There's that same kind of electro grind in the background, but it's kind of the experience of somebody where capitalism is coming and destroying everything, and they don't quite know what to do about it, so why don't they sleep?
Serbia's entry to Eurovision there, Matt Baker-Dupont and myself giving it the hits, the misses and the maybes. That's not the only song to get that treatment. We do that for all 37, myself in every show, and a collection of judges from the community. You'll find some of those here on YouTube. Eventually, all 37 will be up, but you can head over to our podcast to listen to full episodes with all of the songs right now. www.escinsight.com. There's comments below. Let us know what you think of this endeavour, and we'll catch you back in the next podcast clip here on YouTube very, very soon. Ta-ra for now. You've been listening to the highlights of Jukebox Jury as we preview the Eurovision Song Contest 2023. Find out more and listen to our podcast, www.escinsight.com.